Okay, let's see, make sure this is running correctly. Yep, there we go. I can see the cursor moving and everything, so this method still works. Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Stream Plants vs. Zombies. Last time we finished the backyard, or the front yard during the night, and the zombies have moved into the backyard. We'll be taking care of them shortly, but before we continue, I want to, of course, give a shout out to the wonderful people who made this game possible all those years ago. Those would be George Fan, Todd Semple, Rich Werner, Laura Shigihara, Enrique Kortz, Matt Holmberg, and Stephen Notley. The geniuses behind the original Plants vs. Zombies. Now, without further ado, we have a lawn to defend. I know, I just told my viewers that. Again. Oh no, I can't use my free mushrooms. Whatever will I do? That's nice to know. No, not really. Aldo, Aaron, how are you doing tonight? Okay, so the pool levels have a new gimmick applied to them, whereas we have a pool in the backyard. So in order to actually plant things on the pool, at least that are non-aquatic, there are some plants that can just be planted straight in the water, but we don't have those yet. So in order to actually plant anything on the water, we need a lily pad. So lily pads are a must. Let's see. Want a snow pea. Yeah, we'll go with a repeater. Exhausted mentally and tired. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Alright. Let's see. Guess we can go with these. That should do the trick. So we actually do have a couple of new zombies here. Not just the one, despite what it would show over here. The new zombie we have is the Ducky Tube zombie. These are effectively regular zombies that can swim. The Ducky Tube zombie can also come in cone and bucket head varieties. But this should suffice for now, so let's get started. So the pool levels are probably my favorite in the game, because you get access to 6 lanes, and despite the addition of the 2 lanes in the middle being water-based, the pool lanes are actually pretty easy to defend, because most of the really dangerous stuff won't go anywhere near it. Let's see. Hello, will likely just be lurking tonight due to a bad day at work, but I do enjoy a good PvZ stream. How are you doing, Fairy? I'm sorry to hear that you're having a rough day of it at work. So once we actually get some more things placed... Oh, there we go. Just click there. As you can see, now we're going to be having a lot more sunflowers at our disposal, so this is going to result in much greater sun gains, and overall a more bolsterous sun economy. A little bit of cash. Let's see... I want to bite old white men who get their kicks yelling at retail employees, but mostly just tired. Yeah. There's a lot of people in this world like that who need to be slapped in the face or otherwise kicked in places they probably shouldn't be kicked in under normal circumstances. Okay, so I'm gonna have to actually start putting down some defensive plants here. Ones that actually shoot. So this will be a pretty cut and dry defense for this first wave, or this first level here. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to start putting a pea shooting plant up there. Alright. With the slow effect, that should be feasible. Oh yeah, no. Retail's horrible. I put retail and food service in the same sort of general handbasket when it comes to crappiness of the jobs you have to work. Because you just get treated like garbage when you're an employee in either of those sort of stations. Okay, that one's gonna need some support down there. We need a little bit more. There we go. I do apologize if I don't immediately respond to messages, because there is a lot to pay attention to in PvZ, despite how simple it is. So, about 400 more sun, and we should be good. Okay, so here's one of the other sort of gimmicks for this levels here in the backyard. During final waves, zombies will pop out of the pool, similarly to how they popped out of graves during the night. However, unlike the graves at night, there's nothing you can really do about the zombies from the pool. I do believe the trick I mentioned with the ice shroom technically still works, but because it's a mushroom, it falls asleep during the day, and we have no means of waking it up, so not really anything we can do. Let's see. Let me take a look at this. Auto mod. Allow that, yeah. Alright, here we get the squash, which is up there with the potato mine as one of my favorite plants in the game. Squash is zombies. So what the squash does is it insta-kills any zombie that gets near it. Well, with a couple of exceptions. There's a few zombies it can't insta-kill, but for the most part, it will insta-kill anything that gets near it. I basically treat it like a slightly more expensive potato mine. I'll show you what I mean in this level here. So, want to go with the same setup. Let's see. We didn't need the cherry bomb last time. We shouldn't need it here. So, but specifically as far as mechanics go, the potato mine only goes off when a zombie actually steps on it. The squash will attack any zombie that is in either the tile that it's on or in the tile immediately to the left or right of it. Funnily enough, the squash is also the only plant that is outright invincible, because once it does its thing and squashes a zombie, it removes itself from the field. So, and it immediately, like, the second you plant it, if there's a zombie nearby, it'll jump and squash them. So, at most, a zombie will get, if there's enough of them, maybe 2-3 bites, but I've never seen a squash get eaten. It's a really, really good plant. Observe. How's Kitty doing tonight? It's a Sunday night. I enjoy doing what I do on Sunday nights. I don't want to go to work tomorrow, but what can you do? Sunday always leads to Monday. Oh, before I forget to mention it, the music that plays here in the pool levels, this is a track called Watery Graves. Okay. I should be able... Yeah, I can get a potato mine up with that. That's fine. Okay, so once the zombie density gets a little bit thicker, you'll actually be able to see the benefit of having the squash lined up. The squash in general is a really good insta-kill plant if you just need something specific dead, but it also has a good sort of stalling purpose like the potato mine does. Let's see. Okay, I can probably get that one with a potato mine, but I'm gonna have to start using squashes here soon. Because potato mine can handle one lane at a time, but when they start coming down two, squash helps a lot. So let's go ahead and start bolstering the pool lanes here, because I can't put instant death plants on those. Same general setup as before, though. Alright. I can probably still set up a potato mine on that one. I've got space, yeah. Ooh! Minigames unlocked. We will probably mess with those later. Okay, so here we're actually going to have to start using multiple different plants. So we'll leave a squash right there. And I can probably potato mine that one. Though at this point we can probably actually start putting defenses up and we'll be fine. Put a snow pea right there. Oh, good. Good thing the pool lanes are reinforced. Talked to my boss on Friday. He said I could use him as a reference for the South Bend Cubs job and apologize for not being able to offer me more hours. Well, at least they're willing to work with you in your attempts to find something better for yourself. Alright, so at this point we've actually got a pretty solid, or almost pretty solid defense going. Main thing I want to save squashes for is specifically dealing with football zombies at this point. Because raw firepower should be able to take out anything else. Okay, we got a bucket head, but that shouldn't be too hard to deal with. I'm actually putting the potato mine there, just in case he gets that far. pretty good so far. Nah, that pole lane's good. It's just one buckethead causing a problem. Might actually need the potato mine up there. Yeah, he's gonna go kaboom. Or not, just barely, okay. Okay, final wave time. Football zombie, where you at? Squash. And as you can see, squash can actually kill multiple zombies at once if they're layered on top of each other. Oh, a gold coin. Thank you. That walnut's gonna get chewed on, but he should be able to do the job. Yeah, that did the trick. And now we have the three-peater. Shoots peas in 3 lanes. Basically what this does is you plant it in one lane, and it will shoot peas down the lane it's planted in, the one immediately above it, and the one immediately below it. It only shoots 1 pea per lane, though, so it's a spread shot, not a rapid fire like the repeater is. Okay, so here we have a new zombie. We have the snorkel zombie. Whenever you see these guys, you specifically need walnuts to deal with them. So we definitely want to have those. We got a bot. Hang on, let me get rid of him. You, be gone. Alright. So, let me think here. Do I want to show off the three-peater this time? Yeah, I think so. So the big thing with three-peaters is that their whole thing is they're more effective the more of them there are. Because it's very good coverage. So, let's see. We'll probably still want a standard repeater for the top and bottom lanes. Because the three-peaters, since they spread shot, if they're on the extreme lanes, one of the peas will get wasted because it'll fire off screen. Let's see, so we need... I don't have enough seed slots to do everything. So, do I want potato mine or squash? I can probably get away with potato mine. Let's see... Yeah, I can probably get away with potato mine. That'll do. It seems like my stream has frozen again. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, it's not... Twitch is not being happy on my phone tonight. You're way the crap down there. You can see, at least for now, the basic setup is fairly uniform. It's gonna start more or less the same way. Every single level. Okay, we got repeaters. I can probably get away with a potato mine up there once it recharges. There we go. It cut out for a bit. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Hopefully y'all didn't miss too much. I would Alt-Tab to check it, but doing so would actually ruin the recording because of the method I have to use to actually get this to capture. It's a bit weird that way. Okay, so put you right there, and then we can use a potato mine on the dude immediately above him. There. And the nice thing about repeaters is they can protect lanes that don't actually have a plant in them. Like if I plant them here in the, like if I plant them here on the pool spots, they can protect the lane here, and this one could protect the lane here. Right, so yeah, you need a little bit of defense there. I'll go ahead and put a three-peater right there just to show you. Yeah, I think putting that right there should be fine. Put that right there. Okay, now that unfortunately is not going to cut it by itself. I'm going to need some support there. Because 1P is not going to stop a conehead. The two of them together should be able to do it. Okay, you're getting a potato mine down there. Because I do unfortunately need to farm up a bit more sun. Yeah, you can see the pool lanes effectively already have repeaters in them because of the three-peaters and where they're positioned. Put that right there. Okay, that needs something, because potato mines aren't going to be able to cut it at that point. So that's all of the ice we need. We just need one more three-peater and then two repeaters, and we should be good. A little bit more sun. Okay, so Snorkel Zombie, as you can see, he's currently swimming with his head just peeking out of the water. The plants can't see him, so they're not going to be actively shooting at him, and he only pops out when he's actually eating something. So that's why you need walnuts to make him come out. Thankfully, he only has the health of a regular zombie, so he dies pretty quick. Put you down there. Should just need one more walnut and we'll be good to go. Thank you for the money. Might as well make use of all this spare sun we've got. Plant some potato mines. Now, the Snorkel Zombie is only protected against plants that can actually see it, or shoot plants that shoot straight ahead. There are some plants that don't shoot straight ahead like pea shooters do. Those can still hit Snorkel Zombies. The Snorkel Zombie, with its positioning, cannot dodge instant death, so any instant kill plant that it's in range of will still catch it. So, overall, not a huge threat. That walnut's going to get a little chewed on. But that lane's effectively got 4 P's worth of firepower going down it, so hopefully shouldn't get too badly beat up. There we go. And here's our immediate solution to the snorkel zombie. The Tangle Kelp. This thing is effectively a squash that can only be planted on water. What it does is when a zombie gets near it, it grabs it and pulls it under the water. Much like the squash, once it does that, it removes itself. So Tangle Kelp cannot be killed. Okay, looks like we've got a pole vaulting zombie, so we're going to need something to stop that, which is pretty easy to do. So let's see. I think I will forego the 3-peater for the Tangle Kelp instead. So I'm gonna need walnuts for snorkels, which means I'm gonna go potato mine Tangle Kelp. That'll have to do. Yeah, Tangle Kelp is effectively either a potato mine or a squash for the water lanes. And yeah, that'll do. A little sick from the stress. Oh, I wish I could help you.
Zombies are coming.
Just one bit of sun. Oh. Still, though, sucks that you're not feeling well. Well, I didn't mean to put it there, but I guess that works. There we go, that's better. Oh, you can see we actually have 3 flags on this level, so this one will be lasting for a bit. If I had one more seed slot, I could be making use of squash for this too, but sadly, no such luck. Okay, we've got... A potato mine can probably take him out. He's still going slow, so that'll be fine. Now the light's off at your dad's except for one. Just want to relax and ease the stress. Well, I'm glad you think my streams are capable of doing that for you. I really do appreciate that. Okay, he might get a little chewed on, but he should make it. Let's see. Put that there. Then put a potato... not a potato mine, a walnut there. Yeah, we got it. Alright. Start planting other defensive plants. Alright. Potato mine can deal with you. Oh, nice, a coin, thank you. Covered for now. You've got that guy. Repeater can take out Conehead, no problem. Step on him, put that there. I'm intentionally leaving the pool lanes undefended for a bit, so that way I can show off the Tangle Kelp, because it's basically just a potato mine for the water. Or, it's more of a squash, because there's no wind-up time for it, so... You might need some assistance. Ooh, 2 coins. And yoink, down you go. Wish I could bring my kitty over to my dad's. There are plants there. I don't want him chewing on any. I mean, it's bad enough that the zombies are chewing on the plants. You probably don't want the cat doing that too. Because unfortunately, I don't think the kitty quite understands that the plants are keeping the zombies away. Right, that should be all of the ice. Now, unfortunately, unlike the squash, the Tangle Kelp can only pull down one zombie at a time. So it's a little weaker in that regard, so you have to be a little bit more tactical with it. There. Okay, now we just need walnuts and a few other things. My cat Butch, I know. I'm aware. I was just making a joke that was somewhat apropos given the current situation. Okay, so this guy actually jumped into the lane at a really good time because I've got a Tangle Kelp there. Remember what I said about the Smokel zombies not being immune to instant death? Okay, sunflower, you jump over that. And then we'll just have that sunflower there in case any more come by, I guess. You, jump over that potato mine. There we go. Alright, and that should be defenses set. I like how the Snorkel zombies keep going into the lane that has a Tangle Kelp in it. Just like, really, guys? We should be able to take care of that Buckethead before he is close enough for him to be a threat, but just in case, I do have the Tangle Kelp there. Okay, he's gonna get potato mined, but that's okay. That's what he's there for. That sunflower is probably going to get eaten, but that's okay. Oh, good. Got one last little bit of sun out before its untimely demise. Nice. Potato mine. Just the front line of sunflowers there. As you can see, unimpeded, a zombie can eat a plant pretty quick, so I can make you jump. And that guy's probably gonna die before he gets a chance to do anything dangerous, so that's fine. Gold coin, thank you. Place that. I didn't want to put that on top of the potato mine, thank you, but as it should be obvious, being an aquatic plant, Tangle Kelp cannot be planted on the grass. And there goes both of my Tangle Kelps. Okay, that's gonna kill one of the ones on top. Yeah, so that one's gonna keep going through, but that's okay. Alright, final wave. Now, because of the zombies that come up from the depths, the Tangle Kelp should get a couple of insta-kills there. Yep, there we go. That's gonna grab that bucket head. Alright, who's it gonna grab? Regular zombie or Buckethead? Looks like... Buckethead! Nice! Ooh, we got a key! Key? Crazy Dave's car key. Crazy Dave's Twitty Dinkies, huh? Man, do I want to know what a Twitty Dinky is? I don't think I do. Okay, so the main thing we're interested in is the 8 seed slot upgrade for $5,000. So, something else we'll be interested in once we have the money. We want to pick up the pool cleaners, which the lawnmowers do work in the pool, but only for the first tile. They'll like roll into the first tile in that lane and then sink to the bottom. So anything that actually gets through your pool lane, only the immediate like threat gets killed. With the pool cleaner, it'll actually work as intended. And then we have the garden rake, which the garden rake will kill the first zombie that steps onto the lawn. And it will always be positioned where the first zombie is going to go, so you can actually look at it and tell where the first one's going to be going. Personally, I don't like using the garden rake because it sets the rake itself up to the... I think it's like the second or third lane from the right side. So it kills the zombie relatively early, which gives you less time for setup. So I prefer the potato mines and the squash for that purpose. But I used to like the rake a whole lot, but not anymore. So next investment will be into pool cleaners, and I'll be going over these plants later. These are upgrade plants, but we need more immediate stuff than those. Okay. How do you know so much about it? Oh no! No, not the ankle biters, not again! I swear, if these things come in riding on chickens. Alright, time to play Big Trouble Little Zombie. That's the name of this minigame. So how this one works is all the zombies are tiny, they move faster, but they have less HP. And of course, this is a conveyor belt level, so we don't really have a choice as to what plants we can use here. Might need to use that cherry bomb here pretty soon. Okay, a walnut's nice, but not necessarily what I need. Okay, that'll do. I'm gonna blow y'all up. Same with y'all. I actually might need to start setting up some walnuts here. Okay, pool lane needs some defenses. Yeah, you're gonna need a walnut. Right about there should do. Oh, that's very bad. Kablooey! That cherry bomb came in at a really good time. Oh, jeez. This is actually a pretty rough draw. Alright, so... get a little closer. I actually didn't even know if it was going to catch that guy in the back. I'm glad it did. Woo. Okay. I'm going to say pool lanes, just because I don't have any pool cleaners yet. Got a lot of bombs, so that's a good thing. Okay, I'm glad I set that walnut up where I did, yeah. Set you up there. Okay. I think we're through the worst of it. Get rid of you. Okay, we don't need lily pads anymore, so they're basically just fodder at this point. Y'all stop that. Same for you. How about no? Okay, some of these are getting pretty beat up. You know, less bombs and more pea shooters would be nice. Jalapeno. It's missing the tilde, but that's still how it's pronounced. Destroys an entire lane of zombies. So, while the cherry bomb explodes in a 3x3 area, this explodes in a line of fire that covers literally the entire lane. And it only destroys zombies. Even though it shoots out a whole line of fire, your plants are unaffected. And it's a good thing that we got those, because we have a new zombie here that's actually pretty dangerous if you don't have them. The Zomboni. So, let's see. We want these. We're gonna need jalapeno to deal with those, so... And we have 8 seed slots, so we can actually afford to take a few extra things. There we go. That should do for a pretty decent setup. Squash can take out Zombonis, too. So, what Zombonis do is they're the first zombie that's driving a vehicle. The vehicle itself is pretty sturdy, so it takes forever for them to die from normal damage. And they are driving an ice resurfacing machine which coats your lawn with ice. If they get far enough down, I want to say, like either the 3rd or 4th lane gets covered in ice. That enables a support team of zombies called the Zombie Bobsled Team to come running in. They ride in on a bobsled for however long the ice trail is, and then they hop off and join the zombie hordes. The jalapeno is a hard counter to the Zomboni here, because not only does it insta-kill the Zomboni, it melts whatever ice it's left behind. A squash put up front will also destroy it before it can really do any damage, though. Something to note about zombies that are driving vehicles like that, however, is they don't bite. They just run your plants over and insta-kill them. So they are a very high priority target. Thankfully, you can always tell when one's coming, because you'll hear them turn the ignition in their machines. There we go. So it gets a lot tougher. Not a whole lot. Zombonis don't show up, like, in groups. One of the harder mini-games, actually, I think it's called Bobsled Bonanza is the name of the mini-game. That one's one of the tougher ones, because that's basically almost nothing but Zombonis. And not only do you have to constantly deal with Zombonis and the bobsled teams, I believe for that one, the entire field actually starts out like half covered in ice. So you already have bobsled teams coming your way, and you have to fight for every inch of ground to get it back. But we'll get to that when we get to minigames, which won't be for a while. That should do for the sunflower contingent. Alright, so... yeah, we're gonna have to set up a defense here. Because there's no way Potato Mine would have been able to make that in time. It can be. I want to say the only one that's arguably harder than that is Pogo Party. Pogo Party is also pretty bad, but we'll cover that when we actually get to, again, to the minigames. Potato Mine. Now, the nice thing about the Zombonis, though, is the Zombonis can only appear on the ground lanes. They will never attempt to drive into the pool, because that would be nonsensical. So, we don't have to worry about setting up any sort of special defenses against them in the pool lanes specifically. Take the squash there. Yeah, you're gonna need something to shoot. Potato Mine probably could have made that, but you seem like you wouldn't back down from a challenge. Nah, I've beaten all the minigames multiple times. Some are rougher than others, yeah, but not something that I would say ew no to. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting defenses in the pool lanes, because I've already got those there. Now, I think, technically speaking, Squash actually would cover the walnuts if we placed them here, but probably just better to go ahead and get the shooting plants in the pool. Yeah, that was a good call. I'd say the difficulty for this game is reasonably difficult. The adventure mode's basically just a huge tutorial that's 50 levels long. It's when you start getting to the mini-games, the puzzle modes, and the endless modes that it starts actually getting interesting. Might as well go ahead and start setting up walnuts, too. Yeah, by the time we get to the huge wave, we should probably stop having potato mines and stuff dealing with things, so... Okay, doesn't seem like there's anything special going on here, so... this should be doable. Oh, we got a Zomboni. Take that. I honestly probably could have used a squash to take him out just fine, but... eh. Yeah, squash probably would have been more effective. Would have gotten the same result for less sun, but it's okay. You need some assistance. That should be good. Love the piano on this theme. Laura Shigihara does really good music. Which the bastardization that EA did of her work is all the more reason to play this game instead of the remaster that recently came out. Final wave. What do we got here? Get him, Squash. There we go. Be gone! Technically speaking, potato mines can also deal with zombonis, but due to the setup time necessary, the zombonis would get too much ground. So squash would just be better. And here we get the hard counter to zombonis. And easily one of the best late game plants. Spikeweed! Pops tires and hurt zombies that step on it. Which is why I like Okami. It gradually gets more difficult, but overall not the most difficult game I've ever played. Okami's honestly really easy. Because it's next to impossible to die, even as a new player. The game throws so many safety nets at you. Not to mention the overall combat speed in general is pretty slow. Okay, so there's nothing new here, but we do have a new plant to play with, and you'll be seeing me using these a lot. Spikeweed! So, what's important about Spikeweed is they do 1 piece worth of damage very quickly on any and all zombies that are currently occupying the same tile as they do. Now, because it's, like, on the ground, zombies won't attempt to eat it, so they're functionally invincible to most zombies. The only way that they can get destroyed is if they get caught in an explosion, which can happen. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but it can happen. If they get run over by something, they will also get destroyed, but because they pop tires, they will also kill whatever ran it over. And there is one zombie that attacks by not eating. So they are susceptible to that one too, but those are not for a while. Overall, spikeweeds are a very effective damage plant. So let's see. The only real downside in the pool level specifically is you can't plant them on water, but that's not really that big an issue. So, I think we'll just go with our standard setup here. I mean, I'll have squash to deal with emergencies, so I shouldn't need... Yeah, I'll have squash for emergencies, so I shouldn't need the jalapeno. Should you like your strategy games? I like to think. Because this is how my brain gets enjoyment, is constantly doing the processes necessary to put all the pieces in place. For the most part, my job's pretty dull. I run on autopilot 90% of the time, so it's not very mentally engaging. Now, that isn't to say that I like to be thinking about strategy 100% of the time. There is a sort of upper limit that I can tolerate before my brain starts getting overloaded and risks getting fried. Like, if a game has a ton of minutia that I have to keep in mind for every single second of gameplay, that will exhaust me very, very fast. Alright, so that should just barely manage it. At most, he'll get bit once or twice, but that should be fine. Yeah, we've got 3 flags. We'll have plenty of time to actually set up a proper defense here. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Put you there, squash there. Okay. That should do for the water bits. Shouldn't need any more of those. Which is why I like Zelda, because it makes you think. You can take care of him, though I could have put a potato mine there. That probably would have been smarter. But meh. Let's go and start bolstering the pool lanes there. Because we are getting relatively close to the first flag, so... Not ideal, but I'll take it. You go squish, thank you. I'm trying to remember what the last Zelda game I actually played to completion was. I want to say it was A Link to the Past. I don't own that. Actually, wait, no, it was the first one. I distinctly remember playing the first Zelda game most recently, though that was years ago. Okay, we should be past the point where we really need to be using the insta-kills here. The game was made in 1986. Indeed, it was. I had it on my, well, I still have it because I still own the thing, but I have it on my 3DS Virtual Console. Okay, yeah, you're gonna need some assistance. So let's do this. We got a snorkel zombie, but that's not a huge deal. Those things are nuisances, if nothing else. Okay, that should be almost all of the main defenses. Okay, so now we need, let's see, 1600 sun to complete what I want to do next. Basically, every other ground lane for the remainder of the level, I want to completely fill all of this up with spikeweed. 3DS, I loved it. Unfortunately, your A button's broken. Oh no! That's terrible! Is there no place you can take it to get it fixed? I know a lot of, like, mom and pop game stores will usually provide that kind of service. If you have any of those around where you live. Possibly if you looked hard enough. Well, maybe you'll find something. Okay. I think at most I would only need 3 spikeweeds. So I'll go ahead and start placing down potato mines and such up there. You can see the potato mines, not the potato mines, the spikeweed actually recharges fairly quick. The question would be how much money it would cost. Oh, yeah, repairs are never cheap. Repairs are never cheap. Last spikeweed, that should do. Now watch how this top lane up here just gets absolutely shredded because of the spikeweed. The spikeweeds actually attack pretty fast. And pop goes the tire. Put down a new one. There we go. Especially with cracked cell phones like mine, I'm looking to get it repaired once you have more money. Oh yeah, you probably have a lot of tech to fix. Yeah, I think we'll be good. Like, we're basically set for this level, because between all of the all the pea shooters and the spike weeds, nothing that the zombies have at this point is going to get through. Costs at least $100, yeah, and that's on the cheap end. Alright, that should be the last plant we need. The only thing I can think of that I could potentially do to bolster this further would be putting a second set of walnuts in the pool, but I don't think that's necessary. Cell phones are getting more expensive than repairs now. You can even import a $200 one. Yeah, and with how forced obsolescence is running through the market, yeah, that new phone probably wouldn't last very long either. Let's give the pool lanes a little bit more of a push. 5 Ps in the pool lane, I think, should be good enough. Pop goes the tire. I just want something that would last me to near 50. Unfortunately, when the modern tech world, good luck with that. Walnut's probably actually going to get devoured. Squish. That works. No, but it's not a question of low quality, it's a question of forced obsolescence. I know big companies like Apple are really guilty of that. Basically, they design the phone in such a way that it's only going to last a few years, so that way they can force you to purchase a new one when the new model comes out. But anyway, Torchwood. This is going to be a replacement for the snow peas and has a different placement to them. Any peas that pass through it will turn into fireballs, except for ice peas. If an ice pea passes through the fire, it just turns into a normal pea. So using the Torchwood and the snow pea at the same time is not going to get you any benefit. Now, the game doesn't explain it, so I will. Also, we have a new zombie here. Dolphin Rider Zombie. These are basically the pole vaulting zombies for the pool. They only get one jump, and then they slow down significantly. However, they are very, very fast. They are arguably one of the fastest zombies in the game. They can be hard countered the same way that pole vaulting zombies can. Just put something in their way and they'll jump over it. Lily pads will work for that. They also will not jump over Tangle Kelp, because if they attempt to, the Tangle Kelp will grab them anyway. But, let's see. Let's go ahead for Torchwood this time. Let's see. Now, how the fireballs work is the fireballs will double the damage of any pea that passes through it, and will also give a small AoE to the pea whenever it hits a zombie. The AoE's a little bit smaller than a tile. So if a bunch of zombies are kind of piled up on one spot, fireballs will kill a lot of them real quickly. Remember flip phones? I thought that growing up it was a technological breakthrough. I remember flip phones. My very first cell phone was actually not a flip phone as such, but like a sliding phone. Same general idea. But it was legit just a phone, like you just made calls with it. So, let's see. Well, Snow Pea's not going to be helpful, so we're going to want Repeater here. Torchwood, since that's going to be the new thing. We're going to have to be definitely heavily relying on our delaying tactics, though. So, let's see. We shouldn't need spikeweed, because there's nothing here that would warrant that. Yeah, we're gonna want delaying tactics, so let's go with these. Oh, I forgot to go to the shop. Can I do that from here? Yeah, let's restart the level, because you can actually go to the shop from the plant selection menu. Because we actually do have enough money to purchase the pool cleaner. I completely forgot about that. So let's go ahead and grab these again. There we go. Then you can see down here we have pool cleaners now instead of just lawnmowers. Let's see. Your first cell phone was a Virgin Mobile cell phone, a pay-as-you-go. The internet on that was pretty slow. I remember the one time I tried to use internet on my very first phone, it ran up like a $700 bill. Because it was not designed with that functionality in mind, and my mother, when she gave it to me, did not expect me to do such a thing with it. Granted, she also didn't tell me that's what she paid for, so how was I supposed to know that would happen? Yeah, it was a $700 data fee. Or something like that. Yeah, she definitely made me work my tail off to pay that one off. And, you know, for what limited measure she could do that. I was 13 at the time. But yeah, no, that was... she was not happy with me when she found out about that. Sunflower contingent setup. Now, about Torchwood, snow peas are good for crowd control on whatever zombie happens to be in front. Torchwood is what you use when you want to push the line back and keep it back. Because you will be doing stupid amounts of damage with this. And the more peas you have behind it, the more push you're gonna have. Moving pretty quick. He'll probably take a bite out of that potato mine, but it should be okay. I need one more set of lily pads before I start actually setting up defenses here. Okay. Squash there. Repeater there. Yeah, he got a bite off, so that's a little bit too much. Set this up. One Christmas, your brother got a PlayStation 2 and you got a GameCube. Very nice. Yeah, I remember when I got my first PlayStation 2. I was 7 years old at the time. I probably should have put a Tangle Kelp there. But I was 7 years old, and my father surprised me with it. Little did I know that he was intending to use that thing as an excuse to... basically, he used that thing to parent for him. He let that thing distract me so he wouldn't have to pay attention to his kid. So, yeah. That was fun. Of course, you know, at the time I didn't realize that, but... But I made sure that thing lasted. Like, that thing lasted a good 13 years, I think? I was in my 20s when that thing finally broke. Of course, you know, back then, in the late 90s, early 2000s, like that sort of era for technology, stuff was actually built to last. The replacement PlayStation 2 I have on me still works perfectly fine. Not as many as you would think. I wasn't exactly part of a wealthy family. But when I actually got old enough to buy my own games, I definitely got games that interested me. One that's actually of note for my channel is the Dark Cloud games are on PlayStation 2, and that's where I first played those before I emulated them for streaming purposes. I love the Dark Cloud games. They are so good. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so watch this. Yoink! Okay, this one, we're going to need to put a lily pad right there. You don't want to put it in the very first space because they do a slight jump when they enter the area. So, put that there. What's Dark Cloud? Oh, Dark Cloud. So, do you remember the game I was playing the other day, Barony, and how you commented that it was very Zelda-like? So, Dark Cloud is much more Zelda-like than Barony is. To the point where Toan, the protagonist of the first game, actually takes visual cues from Link. It's very obvious. But, they are a JRPG series of dungeon crawlers that have a series of unique mechanics. One of the central ones being building your own towns. So, yeah, it's a very, very cool series. It's a multi-genre series. I have played through both of those here on the channel multiple times on Twitch, and I do have multiple playlists for both games on YouTube as well. If you want, later I can send you links to them. Alright, let's see how this final wave fares against a full contingent of repeaters firing through a Torchwood. Oh, it's very enjoyable. Open fire! Oh, that's not good. Well, so much for that. I mean, still got the job done. I got distracted by talking and wasn't paying attention. Whoops. And here we have the tall nut. Heavy-duty wall that can't be vaulted over. This is... No, you're good, Aaron. It's not your fault. But the tall nut is basically, and I think it's literally and figuratively, the walnut's big brother. It has more HP than the walnut does. It can take a huge beating. Costs a bit more, but jumping zombies can't jump over it. So it's good for that purpose. I think the recharge is about the same as well. So, right. I see what we're going to be doing here. If we're going to be playing with spikes, we're probably going to want snow peas instead. So, we're going to want those. We'll show off the tall nuts. We're going to need spikes, actually. And then potato mine and squash. That should do the trick. But yeah, back on the topic of Dark Cloud, probably one of the things I love the most about the Dark Cloud series is Tomohito Nishiura's music, I believe is his name. Tomohito Nishiura? I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. So because we got two zombies coming back to back down the same lane, I'm not going to have time to put another potato mine there. So I'm going to have to use squash. Once that one blows up. Yeah, there wouldn't have been time for that one to prime if that was a potato mine. It's actually funny that you got me thinking about that, because I've actually had Dark Cloud on the brain lately. That one's further back, so I'll use the potato mine there. I personally think it's because I've been hooked on Barony lately, and Barony's another really good dungeon crawler. Playing Barony, again, has gotten me in a dungeon crawling mood, which usually gets me in the mood for Dark Cloud. So, it also doesn't help that I most recently Let's Played Dark Souls before this, and Dark Souls, the combat in Dark Souls reminds me of Dark Cloud a lot as well. Dark Cloud's combat's a lot more simplified, but it's definitely, like, it's definitely noteworthy, and how similar their systems are, with a heavy focus on action. Okay, so yeah, at this point I'm gonna have to use... Well, maybe not. Put a Talnut there. We're gonna go all out with the defenses here. The one on the bottom lane there is further away, so should have time to do that. I'll start getting these defenses set up. Here in the pool, anyway. Yep, good call. Here comes somebody. Okay, yeah. Put you there, put you there. The tall nut. That should stop the dolphin riders. And basically, it's just fill the rest with pea shooters. Until we're full up, and then we can use spikes. So... Zamboni shouldn't be appearing for at least until the second flag, I would think, so we should have plenty of time to set up stuff. Some protection there, a little bit of extra help. Probably not necessary, but at least not right then, but it'll do. Let's get this done. Now, something important to note is even though Tallnuts have a lot more HP than Walnuts do, and they can't be jumped over, they can still be crushed, which means Zambonis can run them over. So, it's important we have protections in place for our tall nut buddies on the grass. Potato mine! And honestly, that one there will probably just kill whatever comes on screen next. That shouldn't be a huge deal. Okay, yeah, you're gonna hit that tall nut. You're just gonna go black and just bounce off it, so you're good. Here, have more peas for your trouble. That should be the pole lanes, like, thoroughly defended there. And yet that bucket head's gonna go boom, so that's not a huge problem. One more repeater and one more tall nut, and we should be able to focus on spikes the rest of the way. Which is good, because we're actually about to hit the second flag there. That should do there, and now I can start laying spikes down once I get the amount of sun. 125, that should do. Spike time! Okay, we're good. Okay, so now it's just spikes. Spikes, spikes, spikes. That's all we need. Now, as far as spikeweed strategy, you always want to put them at the furthest point of the lawn and then start moving back. So that way, in case a Zomboni comes around, they'll run into those first and you won't let them get any ground. One, there we go. Thank you for your coinage. Okay, that Zomboni's gonna run over that spikeweed. Pop goes the tire. There we go. Now, something important about synergies with plants here, as you see we're using spikes to counter the Zombonis as well as everything else. The reason I want snow peas is because snow peas slow zombies down. The slower they move, the longer they're on the spikes. Which gives the spikes more time to do more damage. This synergy gets upgraded later in the game, but we are doing what we can for now. Okay, final wave time. I highly doubt anything's going to make it to that third lane of spikes there, but we'll see. Or that third column of spikes. Top goes the tire. Tall Nut's going to get a little beat up, but... Oh, that's not the right one. Put Squash in the wrong lane. My bad. Oh well. Tall Nut can take it. If need be, I can always plant another one. Not a huge deal. At that point, that's just there to look nice. Let's see, who joined? That would be... Shenron the Wagon has joined the adventuring party. I hope I said your name right. Welcome to the group, or welcome to the stream, rather. Which, by the way, fun fact, Aaron, since we were talking about Dark Cloud, my follower notification sound effect has actually came from Dark Cloud. That's the new party member sound, if memory serves. Hello! We heard you were having a pool party. We think that is fun. We'll be right over. Sincerely, the Zombies. Dear Zombies. Okay, first off, you shepherd? What? That doesn't make any sense. You also say you'll be ritualing over? You really, really need to look at a dictionary and learn how to spell the words you actually mean. Sincerely, Ladston. Alright, time for the conveyor belt level. Let's do this.
The zombies are coming.
Okay, we want to save jalapenos for when Zombonis show up. I do too. Alright, 3-peater. This is good. Unfortunately, I don't think a single 3-peater is going to be able to take out a Conehead on its own, so... Especially considering how late we got it. So, yeah, I'm going to have to blast that. That's fine. So for this one, we're going to be getting basically nothing but 3-peaters. So... With this, we have coverage pretty much everywhere. Some spikes. So 3-4 columns of 3-peaters should do the trick. If I could get a torchwood down there, that'd be nice. Be gone! So how are you doing tonight, Shenron? That's good to hear. Okay, with 4 Ps hitting that thing, that should be fine. Now, I don't want to put anything in the top or bottom lanes immediately, just because I don't want to waste any Ps. But eventually we are going to have to start putting P shooters up there. Just because we'll be running out of space. I've got a lot of insta-kill plants I should probably start getting rid of. Yeah, this level here actually shows off what I was talking about earlier, with the 3-Peters being very effective the more of them you have. Because they follow the Vladov philosophy, which is power via volume of fire. So 2 Tangled Kelp should deal with those. That opens up some more space. More spikes. I think we actually managed to kill him before he hit the water, so that's pretty cool. Alright, you're gonna get dragged down. Oh, I didn't hear that Zamboni show up. There's so much going on, I didn't hear the key turning. Oh, well, that's gonna go pop, so... Oh, wait, no, it's not. Jalapeno. No spikes down there. Oh yeah, there's so much firepower. We just straight up killed that dolphin zombie before it could actually make it. Very nice. Alright. Squash, if you'd be so kind. Boom! Alright. I really could do with some torchwoods. That would be nice right about now. You see, this one's only shooting 2. Helmet's taking a real beating. You know, game, a torchwood would be nice. I mean, just as well I've got a replacement helmet in case that one needs it. More spikes. You ain't going anywhere. Oh, there goes one of them. Pop goes the tire. I don't think so. Good luck getting through this, zombies. That one should go pop. Again, some torchwoods would be really, really nice. More spikes. Okay, I think the fire piece just straight up murdered that thing. Nice. You can see there's a little ice trail there, but that's not really anything to really worry about. Man, they really don't want to be giving me any torchwoods for this one, do they? Usually I have a full column here. You go squish. There's actually 2 of them there. Very nice. Nope. Oh, but it looks like the stream froze again. Why are you doing that? Stop doing that. There we go. Alright, and for the final plant here, we got the sea shroom, which is basically just the puff shroom, but for the pool. I'll hear your story next time, Crazy Dave, because that's it for today's episode, at least as far as the YouTube crowd's concerned. So, for those of you on YouTube, this is the end of the video. For y'all on Twitch, I'll be switching to a different game here. So please excuse me while I end the recording. For those of y'all on YouTube, I will see y'all next time.